Hey guys, it's Ashley. How are you doing with, the big isolation and the pandemic? I wanted to show you, first of all, my new shirt. It is one of two. My husband loves Marvel, so this is the first shirt. I also got a gray one that looks just like this, but it's Spider-Man. So I thought that would bring a smile to his face. So it was perfect that it came during isolation. I could definitely see the look on his face the whole day. So I really wanted to talk about this whole, isolation pandemic thing. So it's really fascinating to us in the chronic illness, immunosuppressed, disabled community to see how everyone's reacting, to this isolation because this is our daily life. So try to close your eyes and imagine, if you could, this being your whole life. Always having this self isolation, always having to worry about, going to the grocery store. How are you going to get groceries? Not being able to drive, not being able to leave your house. The reality for myself is it has been 4 years since I have had a valid driver's license and been able to legally drive myself. I'll admit there's been 2 or 3 times back before I sold my car that I actually snuck a trip to the grocery store that my husband did catch me and he was not happy about. But that's really only 2 or 3 times. And the reality is I don't even have a car now because it's been 4 years since I've had a driver's license. And so I don't even have a vehicle to even try and sneak a trip. I know some people are sneaking out to get groceries. We actually did the groceries today with the just the pickup, and we only got half of what we ordered because they were out of stock. So we're super reliant on just hoping they have what we can get. The reality in our household is that my husband does the grocery shopping all the time, or my father-in-law, because I can't get through a grocery trip, like a true grocery trip. Sometimes I'll go with my husband just to get the bare essentials or 1 or 2 items, but I cannot do a full grocery trip. Now work. A lot of people are out of work. I'd say probably most people watching this video. Some people are teleworking. Now try to imagine you cannot work a job unless your boss is willing to allow you to telework, and most bosses will not do that. So a lot of people are reliant on disability, and a lot of people are ridiculed for that. I personally am on disability because of my situation. So try to imagine a world in which you cannot work because of a situation like this. So it's like how this pandemic thing is. You're worried about catching something or being sick. So try to imagine a world where you cannot physically work under these circumstances. Because you cannot physically be in the office. Just try to imagine this world being your world all the time. I don't leave the house. I'm always, this isolation. This is my world. This is my daily life. So try to imagine a world where you're living like this. Could you do it? Could you survive it? Would you be bored? I watch TV, I read books, I, do videos, and most of the time I sleep because my body is so exhausted and it hurts so bad. So today alone I had a seizure because my body just couldn't do it. I do not have COVID-19, but I do have strep in addition to my usual stuff. Luckily, I'm already on antibiotics because of dealing with my port placement, which, as you can see from this video, is not healing correctly. I don't know if you can see it, but I've still got my rash. and everything else. And so I'm probably going to have to call on Monday and see what they think about it. So, but just try to imagine this being your daily life. Because for many of us who have my, type illnesses and things like this is our daily life. This is our work situation. And just try to imagine how you would deal with it if this was your entire life this way, rather than a 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 week situation. People are calling on their bosses to accommodate. Now, when it's a whole world, accommodations are happening. A lot of us, in the disabled world are saying, just a few weeks ago, people were quitting their jobs for asking the same accommodations and not getting them. A lot of people were dropping out of school for asking for the same accommodations and not getting them. But now that it's the whole world, those same accommodations are happening. So just try to imagine if this was your whole life. Could you do it?